because yesterday it went on like through lunch. It was precious. So it's a really nice long video. It says simplify. To do that, the first thing we need to do is get rid of our parentheses. The only way to get rid of our parentheses, didn't go to your seat, is to distribute through them. So our Chromebook should be closed right now. Our phones as always should be off and put away. We should have something to write with. We should have this in front of us. So when we have this number touching the parenthesis, that means we have to multiply through it. So 2 times x is what? 2 times 3 is plus 6. And then we're going to bring down that plus 1. So in order to simplify this, we can't have any like terms. So we're going to call this 2x plus what? 7, because we can combine the 6 and the 1. Okay? So we're going to do the same thing for number 2. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times -1 is -5 plus 3. Right? Yeah. So really, we should end up with 5x. What's -5 plus 3? -2. Our bigger number is negative. When our signs are different, we find the difference. All right. Be careful here. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 2 is 12. And then minus 5x. So now we can combine our x terms. 6x minus 5x, that leaves me with just an x left. And then I have plus 12.
Are we supposed to do this before?
Nope.
Okay. Oh. I already have that down.
All right. So these we should have done yesterday, but maybe you didn't. So we're going to go over them. This is like number 1 on page 271. So let's do this. So now we're not only simplifying them, but then we are writing them in factored form. So 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 4 is 12. I'm bringing down that plus 5x. This is not simplified yet. I have to combine my x terms. So I have 3x plus 5x, which is 8x. And then I have a 12. If I'm writing this in factored form, what can I take out of an 8 and a 12?
4.
A factor of 4. So this is really 4. Open your parentheses. 4 times what gives me 8x?
2x. 2x.
Yep, and don't forget the x. It's very important you put the x there, right? It's got a factor of x in it. 4 times what gives me 12?
3.
3. If you're not sure, take 12 and divide it by 4, right? You have a calculator or a multiplication table. And then make sure you go back through this. Please stop talking, Landon. 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times 3 is 12. So this is correct. We're good. All right, so we have to simplify and then write our answer in factored form again. We have to distribute this -4 through. So we have -4x. -4 times 1 is -4. And then we're adding 6x to it. When we combine these x terms, we're left with what? What's -4 plus 6? 2. So don't forget your x next to it. And then -4. What can I take out of a 2 and a 4? 2. 2 times what gives me 2x? X. 2 times what gives me -4? -2. So if you need to double check and think through it, think 2 times x is 2x. 2 times -2 is -4. All right, so again, we're going to simplify and then write in factored form. So we've got to distribute this -5 first. -5 times 2x is -10x. -5, careful here, times -6 is positive 30, right? And then we're adding 25x to it. Don't forget to add 25x to it. Elijah, are you okay? Do you need to go? Turn around, close your Chromebook, and face the front. I don't want to see you looking back there again or you're gone. Nope, try again. The board's up here. You're facing the back. No, you're going to face the front or you're going to leave, because if you're bullying someone, it's not acceptable in here.
Bullying?
Sit down. If it continues, I'm going to consider it bullying because you keep doing it over and over and he's asked you to stop. Do you understand that? Stop. Change your attitude. All right. So now we can combine our x terms. 25x minus 10x is what? Beautiful. And then I have plus 30. What can I divide 15 and 30 by?
5.
I can, but I can also do 15. What happens if you did 5? You would have 3x plus 6, right? And you could take another 3 out of that. So 5 times 3 is 15. So you do need to be sure this is as simplified as possible. You got to find the greatest common factor of them. So if I take a 15 times what gives me 15x? X. And then 15 times what gives me 30? 2. Very good. All right, so now we would be distributing 2 times negative 8x is negative 16x. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And then we're adding 18x to that, it looks like. So we can combine our x terms. This gives us 2x minus 6. And we can take out what? 2. So x minus what? 3. Very good. All right, so yesterday I did 8 through 16. So you should have that to look back in your notes here. So I'm not going to do them again. It doesn't make sense for us to do them again. You should be doing them. You should be practicing, multiplying by fractions, all that fun stuff. I know we weren't adding fractions much, but here you're multiplying by fractions. You need to know that you're multiplying by the top and dividing by the bottom. Otherwise, what's nice is they're going to give you common denominators, so you just have to add the numerators anytime you do have to add. So do try those. If you need help, there's a really, really long video you don't have to watch all of, but there is a video from yesterday of me doing them.
Wasn't you eating your lunch half of it?
Probably. Us watching the videos, everything. So here, we also did this, but let's walk through a couple of fractions that I haven't done yet. Is that fair? So then you'll have even more to go off of together rather than on your own. So looking at 21. So we have to distribute this 1/2 through. So I have this 1/5 x still. It's going to be combined with this. So I have 1/2 times 3/5. Well, 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 5 is 10. Oh, we do have to change denominators here for just a second. And then 1/2 of 20 is what? What's 1/2 of 20? 10. So we're always just dividing by the denominator, right? 20 divided by 2 times 1 is still 10. So this is negative 10 because positive times a negative is negative. All right, how many tenths is 1/5? I would have to multiply it by 2 to make 10, right? So this is really 2/10 x plus 3/10 x minus 10. How many tenths is this?
Five.
5/10, right? So 5/10 x is really 1/2 x. 1/2 x minus 10. So this is just fractions in simplest form. 5/10 is 1/2. We will review tomorrow. Yes, quiz Friday. It's in everyone's planner. Everybody's got it. All right. So another fraction one. Should we skip when there's a little bit more here? Let's do 23 and these last two. I'm not doing all of them. You need to practice some on your own. All right, so if we do this one, we've got 7/12 x plus these twos cancel out, right? So 1/3 x. Now we've got to think through this one. 15 divided by 3 is what? 5 times the top. What's 5 times 2? 10. So we just need to combine these. If I change this to 12, I'm multiplying it by 4. So I'm multiplying the top by 4. So I'm thinking 7/12 plus 4/12, which is what?
7/12.
I mean, we could have rewritten it if you wanted to.
No, it's not 11/12.
We can't divide 11 and 12 by the same thing, right? That's as simplified as it gets. Turn your whole body for me.
Is that the answer then?
Yep, that's it, right here. That's as simplified as it gets.
I think there's tutoring in that. I still have to do that really constantly.
All right, here, we can't do anything with this yet, but we can distribute this negative 1/4 through. And as I do that, I'm going to put it right here so we can just add them up vertically, okay? So negative 1/4, we're really dividing this by what? 4. So what's 20 divided by 4? 5. And because our signs are different, we're going to write it as -5. And there is a factor of x there.
Oh, that's not a straight line.
And here we're dividing by what? 4 again. So 8. Negative times a negative is positive. So positive 8. Now we're just looking down because we've lined up our like terms. 10x minus 5x is... No, what's 10 minus 5?
-5.
Oh, my brain.
10 minus 5 is 5.
Yeah.
And then if I have a -18 and a +8, remember they're different. So I'm finding the difference. 18 minus 8 is 10, but my bigger number is negative. My bigger number is negative. I can't stop here though because they want our answer in factored form. So what can I take out? 5. So x minus 2. Yes, because -2 times 5 gives us that -10.
I know Castle was spelled like that.
CASL. That's the soccer league, but not actual castle
Yeah, well,
that a
actual
princess lives in. All right, so when I see 1/6, this really means I'm dividing by what?
I don't know, 6.
We divide by what's on the bottom. So 18 divided by 6 is 3. Don't forget your factor of x. 12 divided by 6 is -2, and it is negative because we have a positive times a negative. All right, now I have this part. I'm going to write this part below it. What do I have to do to what is in the parentheses? The opposite to it. That's what that negative sign means. So what's the opposite of negative 4x? What's the opposite of 12? Negative 12. Now, bless you, I've got things lined up and this should be simple. 3x plus 4x is? Don't forget your x. And negative 2 minus 12 is? Negative 14. All right, so do complete the few that we haven't done together. Make sure you're remembering that we multiply by the top number, divide by the bottom number. When you're multiplying by fractions.
Should I do the rest of the packet?
You should do, I believe we did everything. So let's see. We did all of 5, 4. The only ones we crossed out were 14, 15, and 27. And then you should be doing all of 5, 5. We didn't cross out anything in 5, 5. Today's the first day we've done 5, 5. So you may be thinking of the last packet when we were doing 5, 1, 5, 2, and 5, 3. We did cancel out some others.
What about 18?
For what? No. 5, 4 or 5, 5? 5, 4?
Are we gonna have more time to work on 5, 5, or are we just gonna do it another day?
Oh, sorry. I said 14 and 15 because that was the number in the book. It's 18 and 19. Sorry, 18, 19, and 27. Thank you for that correction. Make sure we're all on the same page there. But really, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 questions from 5, 5 that we did not do. Everything should be filled out, except for those 3 questions we just talked about on 5, 4.
Fractions are still fuzzy for me. Well, at least these kind of fractions. Like I'm good at fractions.
All right. I'm going to end the video so it's not super long today.
I very much like those.
Right now.